Good morning children, welcome to Yupp Master, the school foundation program. So it's a great opportunity for you people to access the Yupp Master and you can learn the school foundation program. Foundation program is very important as far as the IIT JEE as well as the NEET examinations are concerned. So the Yupp Master has given a great opportunity for you people to learn the foundation program through online classes. So in this the corona pandemic time, it is advisable for you people to log in or get in connected with the Yupp Master. So you can download the Yupp Master app from the site and you can connect with the live classes and even you can connect with the teachers to clarify your doubts, the question and answer sessions, and you can use this app anytime, anywhere, through any device, and you will have an opportunity of 24/7 doubt clarification, and previous Olympiad question papers, NTSC question papers will be discussed with respect to the topics what we are going to cover. So it's a great opportunity for you to have such a beautiful online classes through the Yupp Master. So I advise you, not only you, please inform your well-wishers, your friends, all the known persons to you, those who are studying class 7th, to access this online Yupp Master school foundation program, so that you can connect with the different subjects like physics, maths, chemistry, biology, etc. and you can clarify your doubts, whatever doubts you have in your regular courses, that can also be clarified through the question and answer option that is available with the Yupp Master. So I wish you all the best for you people to join this particular program and also to successfully finish the program. And let me introduce myself. I am Dr. Sripad Rao, the chemistry teacher. So I am going to teach you the chemistry throughout this foundation program. So let us, I will welcome you, a warm welcome to the chemistry subject. Okay. So before we proceed into the different concepts that we are going to have in the foundation program, especially for class 7th, I will just briefly discuss the concept that we are going to cover under class 6th as well. So that of course, what is the need to have the concepts that we are going to discuss in class 6th? You may get a doubt, right? So actually there will be a connection. So each and every topic from 6th to 10th is connected to one another. So it is better to have a look at the concepts what we are going to discuss in the 6th class as well. Okay. So that you will have an clarity, so that you can get connected with the classes and you can enjoy the classes, and also you can learn more subject through these online classes. So I hope you will enjoy the classes throughout the year and throughout the program, that is school foundation program given by the Yupp Master. So let us move into the topic what we are going to discuss today. So the chemistry topics that are learned in class 6th, generally of course all these are the basic concepts what we are going to learn. Okay. So far up to 5th class you are going to have the subject as a environmental science. It is going to cover the geography, science and everything, okay, history, etc. So from 6th class onwards, the subjects will be little segregated. You are going to have a science textbook separately. Science in the sense, here we are going to cover the chemistry, physics as well as biology. Okay. So these are the three areas of science generally we come across after 6th class. Okay. From 6th class onwards, the science textbooks will contain all these concepts. Okay. So in 6th class, we are going to cover under this particular foundation program the basic concept like nature of chemistry, how we are going to treat the chemical components, the language of chemistry, basic concepts of chemistry, what are there in the chemistry, that we are going to learn. Okay. Then we have a atomic structure, how the atom was given, how the atomic structure was proposed, what are the models, all these things can be easily learned. Okay. So the teachers are well experienced personalities, so they will give you fingertips so that you can easily remember the concepts as well from the each and every topic what we are going to discuss. So in this 6th class, even the chemical bonding, acid, base, the allotropic forms of carbon, all these will be discussed, air, water, of course their pollutions. Nowadays we are suffering with the water pollution, air pollution, so all these concepts we are going to discuss, and then we are going to look at the apparatus what we are going to use in chemical laboratory. See, science is a subject where experiments are more speaks compared to the theory. Learning theory is little difficult, but when you carry out an experiment, that will fit or that will go into the mind permanently, the knowledge will be or the concept will be fixed in the mind. Okay. So, chemistry also requires the laboratory. So, here what we are going to use, what are the different types of operators that we are going to use in the case of chemistry, all these can be learned under the last chapter of class 6. So, I am giving you a brief discussion about the topics that we are going to cover in the class 6, and then I will give you lastly the concepts what we are going to discuss in class 7th, and then we start the regular classes from next class onwards. Okay. So, the topic what are going to cover under particular nature of chemistry, matter, physical classification, chemical classification, boiling point, melting point, pure substances, all these things will be covered. So, we can expect these kind of questions in the examination. Which of the following is a matter? Matter generally is going to have some space and which is going to occupy some volume. So, it is going to have some mass. So, generally we can say that in the case of matter, we can clearly explain that books are going to have some weight, then they are going to occupy some space. Okay, angry, happy, sleeping, all these are feelings, they are not matter. Okay, so these are the simple kind of questions we are going to cover under this particular topics. Okay, so in the case of language of chemistry, the symbols that we are going to use, how atoms are treated, how we are going to calculate the masses, etc., writing the formulas, all these things we are going to discuss under the topic. And in this case we can expect these kind of questions, simple questions we can expect in the case of the natural language of chemistry. What is the formula of sodium carbonate? Sodium carbonate Na2CO3 is the formula. How we are going to derive? We are going to discuss it. Okay, we are going to discuss all these concepts in the case of the foundation program. Then we look at the physical basic principles of chemistry, atoms, molecules, isotopes, isobar, the laws of chemical combination, types of chemical reaction, how the different types of chemical reactions we come across, all these things we are going to discuss under this particular topic. Okay. And in the case of atomic structure, here we are going to discuss after the discovery of electron, proton, neutron, how these particles were arranged. The discovery we will going to discuss, and how these particles are going to be arranged in the different manner proposed by the different scientists. So, of course, whenever we come to know that something is there inside the atom, so automatically we require how they are arranged. So, automatically the scientists will come forward and they will explain their own ideas. So, based on their experiments they have proposed the model. So, different atomic models we come across. Okay. So, in this case chapter we are generally we come across the question like this: number of protons, electron, neutron calculation from the boron. So, whenever we write 35, this is the number of protons. So, protons number is 35 here, electron number is 35, and the number of neutrons will be 45. So, how we are going to get the number of neutrons? Number of neutrons can be calculated from number of nucleons minus number of protons. Nucleons means the particles which are present in the nucleus. Okay, nucleus contains protons and neutrons. This we are going to discuss all these concepts. Don't worry. So, just I am giving you a brief introduction to these concepts so that you can enjoy the classes. So, what we are going to cover? So, we will have a broad idea about the total scenario of the foundation program. Okay, chemical bonding. So, when you look at the chemical bonding, we come across the definition of chemical bonding, how the atoms are bonded together, different types of bonds like ionic bond, covalent bond. So, all these concepts are going to be discussed under this particular topic. Okay. So, these kind of questions we generally expect in the case of the chemical bonding. So, which of the following is an ionic compound? Ionic compound means generally the sodium chloride, we know it is a common salt. Common salt means the table salt, what we are going to use in our food. Okay. So, salt is an ionic compound. Salt is a ionic compound. Okay. Salt. So, always we say that salt contain cation and anion, and it is an ionic compound. So, ionic compound means these contain ionic bond. Ionic bond means it is an electrostatic force of attraction between positive charge and the negative charge. Okay. And when you look at the next topic like acids and bases and salts. So, here we are going to discuss what is an acid, what is a base, the different theories proposed regarding the acid and as well as the base explanation, and based on that how we are going to differentiate the acid and base, the different methods of preparation of acids and bases can be discussed, and even we look at the examples pertaining, we are going to discuss so many examples pertaining to the acid and as well as bases. Okay. So, which of the following is a base? So, the general questions that we can expect in this topic are the base, which of the following is a base? We know HCl, hydrochloric acid, is an acid. Okay. NaCl is a salt. Okay, it is not an acid or a base. Sulfuric acid, we know it is a acid. I think you people have heard about HCl and sulfuric acid. Sodium hydroxide is generally a base that we are going to see. So, from this concept, sodium hydroxide is a base. Okay. So, these kind of general questions we come across in the topics like acids and bases. When you look at the allotropy of carbon, what is an allotropy? The definition we are going to discuss, the allotropic forms of carbon, graphite, diamond and fullerenes, all these are the allotropic forms of carbon, they are going to be discussed in this case. So, maximum allotropy generally shown by the carbon. So, okay. So, how the different types of allotropes of carbon exist in nature, what are the bondings that are present in the allotropes of carbon, that we are going to discuss. So, all these concepts are included under this particular topic. Okay. Transformation of substances, how the substances can be transformed. So, here we are going to discuss about the changes, the chemical reaction that are going to take place, and again how speed they are. See, whenever we go for a competition of bikes or a competition between the cars, car racing or bike racing. So, generally what we observe, the speed with which the bikes are running, the speed with which the cars are running. So, here also the chemical reactions will run with their own speed. So, that is going to be learned, how speed the reactions are. Some reactions are found to be very slow, some reactions are found to be very fast. I think you people have seen your friends in your classroom that some people are learning with at a high speed, some people learn the same concept with the low speed, they will learn in a slow fashion. Okay. So, the similar way we are going to have a chemical reaction, one reaction fastly moves, other reaction slowly moves. So, how we are going to see these reactions, and what are the different types of reactions which are slow in nature, the reactions which are fast in nature, how much fast, and we are even going to see the moderate reactions, how slowly the medium reactions, they are not fast or they are not slow reactions, they are going in a moderate speed. Okay. Those kind of reactions we also come across in the case of the transformation of substances. Okay. So, reversible reactions, irreversible reaction, some of the reactions are reversible. So, we can revert it back. Once the reactant converting into product one direction, and we can get it back and convert back into the reactant as well. Okay. And some reactions are irreversible, once you carry out the reaction they will not come back. Once you cook the rice, what happens? It becomes the food, automatically you cannot convert back it into the food grains. Okay. So, these reactions generally we come across in our daily life. So, all the concepts what we are going to learn will be interrelated to the daily routine job what we are carrying out, and based on that we are going to discuss the examples as well. Okay. And desirable reactions, undesirable changes that are happening in our, of course, whenever we take food, how we are getting energy? We are getting energy because of the consumption of food, right? Once you take the food, what happens inside? Inside within our body we have a very good mechanism. So, all the machines which are present in our body, they start working out. Okay. Once they start working out, what happens? They automatically digest the food. From the digestion what we are getting? We are getting the energy. So, we can speak, we can walk, we can run, or we can do something. So, all these concepts can be learned from the transformations, how the transformations are taking place and how the changes are going to take place, all these are going to be discussed. So, examples were given with respect to the relation to the daily routine life. So, with respect to the routine life we are going to have all these discussions. Okay. Right. So, generally which of the following is a slow change? For example, when you observe rusting of iron, I think you have seen in your school that some of the poles are made up of iron, right. So, how the rusting is going to take place? Because these poles are going to be exposed to the air as well as the rain. Okay. The rain when falls and as well as when the air exposes to the iron, automatically iron will react with the oxygen present in the atmosphere and then it becomes rust. So, rust formation is a chemical change. How fastly the reaction is taking place? I think you have seen the same iron pole for at least 5 to 6 years, right. After 6 to 10 years only the rod gets corroded, then only the of course new rod has to be taken into that place and the old rod has to be removed from that particular position. Okay. So, the rusting of iron is a very slow process, it will take place slowly. how fast the food get digested in our body. For example, when you take food, how fast the food get digested? It is 4 hours only. Within 4 hours, the food get digested and you are going to get the energy. So, some of the food that we are going to take instantaneously, they are going to produce energy instantaneously, like glucose solutions, the fruit juices. When you drink them, automatically within 30 minutes or 10 minutes or 20 minutes, you are going to get the energy, and you can just start walking or running, etc. Okay. So, how fast the reaction is going on in our body, how fast the composition is changing. So, all these things can be discussed with respect to the real life, and we know the beautiful solvent that we are going to use, universal solvent, water. Water, of course, nowadays we are very much worried about the pure water. We know that most of the metropolitan cities in India are struggling with to get the water. So, most of the areas the water content is very less. It's day by day it is decreasing. Why it is decreasing? What are the reasons? Why? How many types of water bodies we can come across in our daily life? Okay, in nature. Okay, how the water is getting polluted, what are the consequences of pollution, and how we people are polluting the water. So, all these things will be discussed under water concept. Okay. So, the causes of pollution. So, once you know the cause of pollution, what do? We go for prevention of pollution. So, prevention can also be done. So, we can prevent the pollution. So, prevention of pollution can also be done by using the chemical combinations or chemical reactions. So, chemical compounds plays a major role. For example, when you fall sick, what happens? Generally, whenever we fall sick, we go to the doctor, and the doctor will advise us to take some medicine. What are medicines which are going to cure us? All are chemical compounds. So, water is also a chemical compound that is to be used in a pure form. Impure form of water create lots of problems. So, all these things about water we are going to discuss under this particular topic. The prevention, we are going, how we have to prevent the water pollution. So, that is going to be increased in this case. Okay. So, when you look at the periodic table, what is periodic table? All the chemical elements which are present in nature, they are arranged in a beautiful fashion in a periodic table. I think you have seen the periodic table. When you look at the periodic table, you can see the imagination, that is one side we have one block, other side one black. In between the two blacks we have one black and one more black at the bottom. So, this looks a beautiful arrangement of these elements. How these elements are arranged? The arrangement of element takes place because of their atomic number. So, based on the atomic number, the elements are arranged in a sequential fashion, and their periodic properties are represented through the periodic table. So, arrangement of the elements in the periodic table, when you look at one element has not suitable position in the periodic table. Of course, all elements are neatly arranged in the periodic table, but one element is not suitably positioned in the periodic table. What is that element? Can you guess? Yes, it is hydrogen. Hydrogen position is not exactly known. It is kept at the first position, of course, first row as well as the first column, but of course, it can also be located at the 17th group as well, which we are going to discuss in our periodic table, all these things. Okay. So, the element which is does not has a suitable position in the periodic table is hydrogen. Okay. Oxygen, carbon, nitrogen have a suitable position, and they are sitting exactly in the positions where they are supposed to be. Okay. And in the case of air, of course, without air we cannot exist, we breathe. Okay. So, existence of life on earth is because of the oxygen that is present in the air. Air is a combination of different gases. Okay. So, what are the gases that are present? What is the major gas that is present in the air? Nitrogen gas. The next one is oxygen gas, and then we have carbon dioxide, water vapor, all the gases are present in very little amounts. Okay. So, what are the components of air? How the air get polluted? Of course, if you look at the metropolitan cities, the air gets polluted easily because of so many factories, so many vehicles running on the roads, and so much pollution, the garbage throwing here and there, all these things create pollution. Pollution lead to the of course diseases. Okay. How the pollution of air is going to be taking place, and what are the responsibility of the human being to control the pollution, what are the causes of pollution, how to control the pollution. So, all these are going to be, prevention is very important for controlling the pollution. So, these concepts we are going to discuss under this particular concept, air. Okay. So, which of the following gas is present in larger proportion in air? In larger proportion in air is nitrogen. Nitrogen is the larger proportion, then is oxygen. So, nitrogen is more then we have oxygen. So, oxygen is the next component which is present in the air. So, when you observe these things, of course, it looks little easy. We never look at that air is a combination of gases and we are living because of the air that is present. Of course, as if the air gets polluted, if the concentration of oxygen in air decreases, what happens? As the concentration decreases, the existence become, we people will be thrown into the danger situation. So, we should be in a good situation, we should be in a safer situation. In order to be safe, what we have to do? What are the steps that we have to follow? So, of course, again chemical compounds, chemistry plays a major role in controlling the pollution, whether it is a water pollution or it is a air pollution. So, all these things which we are going to see can be discussed under this chemistry topic. Okay, it's a very interesting thing that learning chemistry is easy. Okay, learning about the compounds, learning about ourselves is chemistry. That's it. So, what is our body is made up of? The body is made up of chemical compounds. The food what we are taking is a chemical compound. The drink what we are drinking is a chemical compound. The water what we are taking is a chemical compound. The air that we are breathing is a chemical compound. All these are chemical compounds. How the constant atoms are present, how the reactions are going on, how the food is getting digested in our body, in our small intestine or the large intestine. I think you people may be knowing by this time the digestive tract, what is the digestive system we have, the so many mechanisms that are created are kept in our body, how they are working, how they are coordinating with one another. All these things will fall under chemistry only. So, we are going to have a beautiful introduction or beautiful discussion with this concept in a chemistry. Okay. And of course, whenever we look at chemistry, it is a science. Science has to be learned, science has to be understood only through experiments. So, experiments have to be carried out in a specific area, that is known as laboratory. So, within a laboratory we are going to carry out chemical reactions. So, it is a chemical laboratory. Of course, we are going to have a physical laboratory as well as the biological laboratory, etc. So, in case of the chemical laboratory, what we are the operators that we are going to use? It is a very interesting thing. Okay, how we are going to carry out the reaction, how we have to behave in a chemical laboratory, how to behave. So, what is our behavior? Should we use all the chemicals, or we should touch all the chemicals with without gloves, or we should smell all the chemicals, or we should taste the chemicals? No, there are some rules and regulations which we are designed for us safety. Okay, there are some rules which are designed for our safety. So, we have to follow those rules and we have to be in connect with those rules, then only we can enjoy the chemistry laboratory or the environment of chemistry laboratory. Okay. So, we are going to see how the chemical apparatus that we are going to use, what are the rules and the regulations that we have to follow, wearing an apron, wearing a mask and wearing a gloves, goggles, all are important in chemistry laboratory, and handling chemicals should be done according to the given procedures. You cannot handle some of the chemicals at room temperature, that should be cooled to the 0 degree centigrade and then we have to handle. So, all these things we are going to learn, because as a beginner we should know what to do and what not to do. Okay. So, the concepts can be learned through this particular topic. Okay. So, here what we are going to take the precautions, how to be safe in a laboratory. So, all these things will be discussed under this particular topic. So, these are the topics which we are going to cover in class 6. Of course, you can also enjoy the classes of 6th as well, because you are going to have the recorded classes. You can directly search for the class and you can enjoy the topics, whether it is a physics, chemistry or mathematics or the biology, etc. Okay. So, under class 7th, what we are going to learn in this particular foundation program. So, in this particular foundation program, we are going to look at the different states of matter. Actually, what is matter? We are going to begin with a small concept, then we slowly move into the chemistry. Okay. First, we look at the elaborated area, science, and then we slowly move on to the chemistry, and within the chemistry we start with the matter. Okay. And then we look at some of the basic principles, the language of chemistry, that is how we are going to use the terminology, what are the symbols of ions or the atoms that we are going to use, the atomic structure, how the fundamental particles of an atom are arranged within an atom, how the models were proposed, what are the concepts that we are going to see. So, all these things will be learned under the atomic structure. Then we have a classification of elements, how the elements can be classified, and what is the main reason. For example, in a class, if the number of students is more than 50. What happened to the teacher? Can teacher remember all the names of the students? No, it is very difficult, right? So, similar way for a scientist, if the number of elements goes on increases day by day, what happens? So, in nature today, as of today, we are going to have 118 elements in the nature. Okay, all these elements are arranged in the periodic table. So, what is the criteria for arrangement of these 118 elements? Not only the element does not exist as such in nature, most of the elements they form in compounds. So, how many different types of compounds are possible, their names, their physical properties, their chemical properties, all these things has to be remembered. For scientists, like as a student, for scientist also it is difficult. It is difficult to remember all the properties. So, what is they have done? They have gone for the classification. Why they have classified the elements? The elements which are showing similar chemical and physical properties, they are kept in one place so that they can be learned easily. So, we also do the same thing, right, when we are looking into the different topics of 7th class, okay, let us say science topics, especially chemistry, how to arrange all these concepts, how to learn them. So, with an example that is related to our daily life, they can easily remember. For example, if a teacher starts teaching one concept and if you can correlate with the daily life example, then automatically the concept will be fixed in our mind. The similar way, scientists are classifying the elements according to their physical and chemical properties, how the classification was done. And of course, there are so many beautiful genius scientists who have done excellent job in classification of elements. We are going to come across all these scientist names, their pictures we are going to discuss. We are going even looking at the different concepts given by the scientists. All these things we are going to see with this particular foundation program, right. So, the next one is chemical bonding. How the chemical bond is going to be the responsible factor for keeping the atoms together, how the atoms are held together, the different chemical bonds, ionic bond, covalent bond, what is the difference, how the ionic bond is going to be formed, what are the characteristics of ionic bond, what are the characteristics of covalent bonds, all these things we are going to look into the in this particular topic, chemical bonding. Lastly, we are going to have a topic solutions. Of course, we drink tea, coffee, or even you people may drink milk. How you drink milk? We take sugar into the milk and we stir it, hot milk, okay. So, automatically the sugar starts dissolving and we are getting a solution. That is a solution, okay. So, in our day-to-day life, we come across so many different types of solutions. So, all these things, how we are going to express the concentration of solution, what are the parameters that we are supposed to follow, all these will be discussed. And even lastly, the chemical laboratory, of course, the next continuation of the topic what we are going to see in the class 6th will be kept in class 7th. So, these are the different topics, 8 different topics which we are going to learn under class 7th in this foundation program. And we are going to give you the beautiful explanation for all the concepts. I think you are going to enjoy the classes. So, as I advise, please download the app and get in connected with the online classes given by the Yupp Master, and that to the class 7th people. So, it is a great opportunity for you to get in connected with the foundation program. See, of course, your parents are thinking about your IIT, JEE or NEET examinations. So, from today onwards, if you start learning these concepts slowly, one by one, it is not in a hurry thing, okay, it is not in a hurry thing, we will learn the concept slowly one by one, and we are here to give you the concept in a clear and a neat fashion, and we are there to clarify even your doubts as well. I think you are going to enjoy a lot. We will see with the new topic